What's going down, everybody? It's your man Pro Diggy from the Chaos Crew, but you could call me Diggy if you like. And I'm just going to do a very quick amendment video to my previous Vegas tutorial. I was thinking of a couple of things, and I was thinking, is there anything that I can change to make it better, or this or that, or whatever? And I was thinking back, because I've watched a lot of different render settings, tutorial videos that are floating all around YouTube. And I kind of took little bits and pieces of a bunch of people's stuff to kind of get what I've got here. And I was thinking there was some more information that I might, want to toy with and stuff like that. I got a couple of suggestions from subscribers. And I also had noticed that somebody commented and left a suggestion, but I actually do that already, and I just forgot to mention it in the previous video. So I'm just gonna, like I said, quickly go through the few things, the thing that I forgot, the things that I've added, and the things that I've changed. So I guess without further ado, let's get started on that. Basically what this is gonna do is your actual render time is gonna be cut down quite a bit. Now, with these settings, I render a 6-minute video in about 18 minutes. So it's like 3 minutes per minute of footage. And now, for some of you, it's going to be faster because maybe you have a better computer. Excuse me. For some of you, it may be slower, because your computer's slower. But I'm just giving you what mine is, how mine works. So about 3 minutes per minute of rendered footage. And then file size is about 100 megabytes per minute of rendered footage. So 6-minute video is about 600 megabytes, basically give you an idea. Okay, so first things first, what I'm going to do is here. Okay, the thing that I forgot was I right-click the video, you hit properties, and then right here it's going to say smart resample. You want to change that to disable resample, and then just hit OK. That's all you got to do, but you have to do that for every video. It's not going to stay that way. It's not a default. So every time you go to do one, you got to remember to do that. Okay, so there's that. Next thing I did was, this was suggested by a subscriber about adding brightness and contrast. Now, as you can see here, there's no color correction, no sharpen, no anything. This is what it looks like, just kind of raw. Now, when we add the color corrector, makes the colors pop a little more, looks really, really nice. We add the sharpen, makes everything really crisp, kind of files down the edges, gets rid of some blur, makes it real crisp and nice. Now, brightness and contrast. This is what was recommended to me by a subscriber. Now, what I did is I took that brightness and contrast idea and I went in, I started playing with the settings, and I think I found some settings that are really, really good. This is what it looks like by default. If you change these things, you'll see, like, obviously it gets bright or dark or whatever, and then contrast is gonna like really contrast the colors, so it'll go to like nothing, or it'll be like holy shit. And the contrast center changes, I guess, where the contrast is actually kind of starting from or whatever. I'm not really sure exactly how that works. I just know what it does. So what I have here is I already have a preset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck this. I'm going to go to my preset right there, and then I'm going to turn it on so you guys can see the difference. Now, these are the settings. All you got to leave this at 0, you put this at 0.200, and this at 0.900, and this is what it's going to turn into. And it looks really, really good. I got a good balance between what it looks like when you're, say, indoors and it's a little darker, and when you're outside and it's a lot brighter. It's a really good balance, I think. So if you guys want to throw that in there, you can go ahead and do that. I like it. And I think it makes everything just look pretty tits. So that's that. Now, this is what I started playing with, and I wanted to make sure that everything, came out all right and stuff or whatever, but the render settings. So there's going to be just a little bit of a tweak in the render settings. Now, notice here that I have a new one called YouTube 30 FPS. Well, that's because I'm rendering in 30 frames per second. Now, I think what it was where I was getting the frame drop, I'm not sure if it's because my project settings were 30 frames per second and then I was rendering 30 frames per second, or if it was the disabling of the resampling or what. But I have noticed that I can render in 30 frames per second and not get the frame drop now. So that's what you need to change. So what you can do is basically everything else is going to stay the same. Nothing is going to change there. Nothing's going to change in the audio, anything like that. All you're simply doing is changing from the 60 frames per second to 30. Now, what you can do is, if you don't want to type this all out, you can just click on one of these So like this is what 30 frames per second is, but if you actually type 30, I think it's a little bit better. So you could just select one of these, it's blue, and then you just type in 30 and then click somewhere else like frame size, and then it'll just kind of fill that in for you. And that's pretty much it. So then you just hit OK. You can resave the preset, and like I did, like, 30 frames per second, whatever, and then you just go about rendering the same way you normally would. And like I said, it's still smooth. I'm not dropping any frames. The colors look really bitchin'. Everything looks really nice. So that's pretty much it, guys. Basically take the first video and this video, kind of smush them together and just do everything like this, and you'll have some really nice, clean, smooth gameplay. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. This has been your man, Pro Diggy, from the motherfucking Chaos Crew, but you could call me Diggy if you like. Don't forget, as always, to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my sights.